Hi everybody, hey, I'm here to talk to you about the truth about Uncruise. I'm on the Uncruise Safari Endeavor and today I'm sailing, well this is the tail end of our 12-night sailing from Juneau all the way down to Seattle. And before I arrived on the ship, I thought I might have a little bit of a script ready to go. Makes sense, correct? You can read all kinds of things and you can kind of put a script ready to talk to people. But then I got on board and I said, well, your script is good, but your script, you haven't done Alaska with Uncruise, Bonnie. So it's really hard to talk about that whole emotional aspect of this cruise line and what we've been able to see. So I'm going to tell you, I am on deck number 1, cabin 112. I have a big window above the bed that just looks out at the beautiful ocean / all the inlets. First night, we were called up to the top deck because there were northern lights. All right, so we saw this amazing northern light that I've never ever seen. They were green and they were pink. We went back to bed. They called us at 2 o'clock. Northern lights again. Again, they were beautiful. I rolled over in bed in the middle of the night and those northern lights were there. Now, are you guaranteed to see the northern lights? Absolutely not, because you know, there's no remote control, sadly, for Mother Nature. But if it happens, make sure that you do it right away. I don't think it's just naturally gonna happen. It isn't. When the moment strikes, take it. So the next morning we got up, I did bushwhacking. I had no idea what bushwhacking was. It was an amazing walk through one of the softest forests in the world, as far as I was concerned. Everything was cushy and it was beautiful, covered with moss. So that was a couple of hours of really hard work, but I loved every moment of it. So be prepared to bushwhack. You do get boots for the bushwhack when you're on Uncruise, so don't worry about packing those big old boots, but you are going to need the boots. I'm going to tell you that. So we did that. It was fabulous. Then the next opportunity was polar plunge, which yours truly did take advantage of, which was awesome. Got out and then immediately jumped in the hot tub. Just warmed up my whole inside. Perfect. Then it was kayaking 101. If you're going to kayak, you got to take kayaking 101, which had a really great part of it. Speaking about communication, very important. So I'm glad I took that class. Then we did kayak with a guide. We went back into a little bay and there was no sound except the water kind of like lapping on the edge of your kayak. Again, such a memorable experience. Waterfalls, trees. We saw bear walking by the shore, some seals, I believe. Then we did a skiff ride, not all in the same day now, this is over time, people. Then we did a skiff ride and we saw this amazing humpback just come up. I was in the back of the boat, come up right in front of me, and he just sat there with the bottom part here, looking at our skiff. The skiff was totally quiet. There was maybe 8 of us in there, I think. Totally quiet. We were all in awe. And that guy hung there for maybe 10, 12 seconds, then gently opened his mouth, still looked at us, and then down that whale went and he was gone. At that point, I thought, okay, this trip cannot be any better. Well, who would think it could get any better? Then we did another skiff ride the next day, right at the base of a glacier. And our guide was talking to us about what shooters are when it comes to glaciers, the ice that comes from the bottom and just shoots up. She had never seen one, but talked about it, gave us lots of information. We're in the skiff. We're as close to the glacier as we were allowed to get. And just like that, this well, actually first, there was a small calving. Then there was this giant shooter that looked like the Poseidon coming out from the ocean. Then there was another giant avalanche slash caving, and then there was the wave. From all of that happened in about 7 seconds. So you can imagine the wave action coming at our boat. It was, or our skiff. It was breathtaking. I don't think I probably breathed or took a breath for 30 seconds. Again, did not think this trip could get any better. We saw a moose, we saw that bear, we've seen eagles, porpoise, humpbacks. And then this morning, it was brunch. They didn't serve breakfast, it was brunch. So we walk into the brunch time and they've got some mimosa, some cranberry juice, a fabulous tray of cinnamon rolls for our table. We're all having breakfast, and lo and behold, right outside of the dining room window, 1, 2, 3, 4 orca just swimming right in front of us. And then, of course, we had the galley tour and the tour of the engine room. And this trip isn't even over yet. Uncruise is Uncruise Adventures. It is the adventure that you want to make it. You can partake in all of these things or none at all. You can just sit on this deck and see how beautiful nature is herself. Now, I could have written all of that down in a script and read it to you from my home. Of course I could have. But look at this. This dramatic scenes out here are just unimaginable to wake up to every morning, to dine next to every single meal while you're here. And then during the talks in the evening, you still have it. And I gotta let you in on one more secret. Up here, Mother Nature does not disappoint when it comes to sunrise, sunset, or moonrise. Around every bend and behind every cloud is an absolute opportunity on this small ship to say hello to Mother Nature and just let her hug you as you pass by this beautiful place where Mother Nature breathes life into everything.